So we have a backdrop, and let's just put some objects on here. For the sake of time, let's just do one monkey, I guess. Shift A to add mesh monkey. It will give you a default monkey called Susan. In this orientation, I want to look at the face, not the back of it. So I'm going to rotate R and Z so the face is somewhere along me. And I'm going to scale it down a little so that it fits nicely in this scene. And I noticed that it's just floating, which could be cool, but I want it to be grounded, like a real object. So I'm going to look at it from side. And I'm going to rotate along the y-axis so that it's oriented such that how it would lay on the ground. And I'm going to bring it down to the floor. Okay. This will make sure that the shadow that we cast looks realistic. Okay. Now, we cannot render anything yet because we don't have a camera and light, but we can talk about different type of viewport shading. The shading in 3D rendering context basically means how it looks like, how the object is getting shown onto the screen. So right now, there are 4 different types of shading in Blender. So right now, we're in the solid mode. There's a wireframe where you can see individual edges. And this could be really useful because in Blender, you cannot select anything that's behind something else. But in wireframe, you can. There is a materials preview, which will color things somewhat accurately to your setting. So I can, if I were to set this monkey to have some different color in solid view, it would still look like clay. But in materials preview, it will look into the right color. And then finally, there's the render preview, which should approximate, given you have a camera setup, this is what you're going to get, basically. Right now, we don't see anything because realistically, if you have a scene without any light, you're not going to see anything, right? So let's add a light. Let's do Shift A to add, and in the middle, there's a light. Let's put a spotlight. When I zoom out, you can see the spotlight is pointing down and kind of random. But what I want, let's go back to solid view. What I want is my spotlight to point at my object. I can manually have it pointed at my object, but even better, I can put object constraint and let it know that I want it to point at specific things. So here at the right, there is a constraint panel, and I have selected my light, and under Add Object Constraint, there is Track 2. And then I can set my target to my monkey, and you can see that now it's pointing exactly to my monkey. And in fact, even as I'm moving around in 3D, it will always point at my monkey. So I find this very useful. And we're going to actually go ahead and add a camera, Shift A, camera, and we're going to do the same thing to the camera. With camera selected, Track 2, and target Susan. And now when I move my camera around, you can see that it always points at the monkey.
Can you show how to do the track 2 again really quick?
Yes. So choose the object. It only works for camera or the light. On the panel here, there is the constraint panel right above the green data panel. And the other way to easily manipulate your camera is actually by letting the camera know that I want my camera. I want to set up my camera so that it looks just like what I'm seeing right now. So I kind of like how this looks like currently. If I go to View at the top left here, Align View, I can do Align Active Camera to View. now my camera is not pointing at the monkey, but it aligns itself to the current view, and this is close to what I want. If I want to make fine adjustment with the camera selected, you can see that it's selected because the bounding box is orange. If you press G so that it moves, and if you middle click, and then if you move up and down, the camera will dolly in and out. And if you press G twice, the camera will just pan. So I find this extremely useful. So it's good.
How did you get it to like align with the current view again?
So given any view, you do view, align view, align active camera to view. If you want to see what your camera is doing right now, you can click the camera icon right here at the top right, and your view will get aligned to the camera.
Oh. And if you do that, then you can do the G or the T.
Yes.
Okay.
What else? So I noticed that compared to my scene, my camera and the view, the backdrop is a little too small. So let's scale it up. I'm going to click the backdrop, S to scale. And this is probably good enough. And my monkey is probably floating, so let's bring the backdrop up. And yep. So you notice that how this camera is in very awkward 16:9 ratio, and you might not want that. So you can, on the output tab, the second one from the top, you can define what your camera resolution is going to be. Let's just do 1024 by 1024 to get a square image for today. And if you know anything about photography, your camera can have different focal length, right? So you can set that by going into your camera setting and changing the focal length. So I like how that looks. Let's go back to the render view, render shading. And right now, this could have worked, but it's not working because the light is getting blocked by the scene. Okay. And you can see that there's a very trace of monkey because this is probably because the light is too weak. So let's make the light stronger. So I'm going to click the light, and there's this little bulb icon where you can change the light data. And let's just increase the power. And we're getting a scene now. Okay. So right now, you probably notice how fast this is rendering, and just based on that, you can tell that this is not ray traced. This is basically rasterization, and you wanna, for basically every scenario, you wanna do ray tracing, unless you exactly know what you wanna do with the other renderer. So to change that, we're gonna go to render setting at the top here, and it says the render engine is Eevee. Eevee is the built-in rasterization renderer, basically like your game engine. Let's change it to cycles. Now we get the ray tracer. And you can see that it's very noisy because it just takes a lot of time to compute. And every time you do any operation to it, it's going to take a little bit of time to calculate your lights. For like setting up things, Eevee is extremely powerful. Let's just make it slightly more stronger. And for the last thing that I want to do today, let's change the materials they are on. So there's a black line at the bottom where I can drag it up. And at the top left of this panel, I'm going to click it and change to shader editor. Okay. I'm going to click onto my monkey and press new, and it will make a new material for my monkey. I can change my monkey's color. I can change how rough the surface is. and whether it's non-metal or metallic even. And so let's do metallic monkey, that's magenta. And for the floor, let's do a little bit of off-white. That's very rough surface. Let's set the cycles. So this is the scene that I'm gonna try to render. We have the scene all ready. And then now we can just press render image, or F12. And this is gonna take forever because you can see it's at sample 6 out of 4,000 now. I'm gonna escape and gonna let you know quick tip. The denoising algorithm nowadays are so good that you will very likely to get away with very small number of samples, especially for prototypes. So let's just do, I don't know, let's just go for 12. And then render again. And you can see that the darker region, because there's not many lights passing through it, it just have trouble knowing exactly where it wants to be. But as soon as it hit 12, the denoising algorithm kicked in, and it looks really nice. In practice, I do do like 400 samples just to be sure, because you might get some artifacts where the shade might get splotch artifacts on it. So you do wanna have a higher sample than 12, but the denoising is really good. Yep.
Did you have to like apply the material somehow? Because like I made material and it didn't change color.
So you wanna first click on the object you wanna do, and then select. If you already made the material, you can select this circular icon. You can select the material that you wanna apply. Did it work? Okay, we can talk. Yeah.
I think we'll also re-release some of the stuff at the end in the next class.
Yep.